That's neutral in flavor that you can see through, that's very light in color. Grape seeds, safflower, sunflower, peanut oil, those are all great for stir fries.
She posted a video and the internet lost its mind. Was she sick? Was she drunk? Was she hiding something? Then came the falls. Then came the silence. Then came the grief nobody saw coming. And underneath all of it, a business deal that could unravel everything she spent 2 years quietly building. Stay with me, because the real story of what has actually been happening to Rachael Ray is nothing like what you've been reading online, and the breaking news at the end of this video is the one part that nobody is talking about. 3 questions. First, if Rachael Ray was supposedly in hiding, how did she manage to produce nearly 400 episodes of television at the same time? Second, what was so significant about a friendship that it made one of the most emotionally guarded women on television break down publicly? And third, why does the company she built specifically to protect her independence now have her more exposed than ever? Every single one of those answers is in this video. Don't go anywhere. In September of 2024, Rachael Ray posted a clip to her own Instagram from her FYI series, Rachael Ray in Tuscany. It was a tribute to her late friend Tony Bennett, cooking his favorite dish, ossobuco, a completely normal post for her. Except the people who watched it noticed something that stopped them cold. She was slurring her words. Not constantly, but enough. The comment section filled up immediately. OMG, is she okay? What happened? I love her, but she's so hard to watch like this. I'm seriously concerned. One person wrote that she looked and acted like she had been drinking all the time. Within hours, the clip was circulating across Reddit threads and fan forums, and everyone was asking the same thing. What is going on with Rachael Ray? Her team was asked directly by multiple outlets. Their response was 2 words. No comment. She didn't address it on social media either. She reposted another cooking clip from the same series a few days later, as if nothing had happened. And here is the thing about that silence, it made the noise louder, not quieter. Then on October 22nd of 2024, she launched her podcast, I'll Sleep When I'm Dead, a long-form interview series she'd been building toward for months. It was the first time she had spoken directly to fans since the slurring video, and people tuned in specifically to hear what she would say. She didn't address the video by name, but she said something that gave the internet exactly what it needed to keep talking. Almost in passing, she mentioned that she'd had a couple of bad falls in recent weeks and hadn't been able to do as much manual labor around the house as she normally would. That was it. No details, no context, no explanation of whether any of it was connected. Just a couple of bad falls, and then she moved on. That one sentence became the new center of everything. Fans speculated about medication side effects and neurological concerns. Internet comment sections filled with unofficial diagnoses from people who had never treated a patient in their lives. None of it was confirmed. None of it was denied. And by May of 2025, the Daily Mail was reporting that people close to Rachael were so concerned that she had shut people out and was living a very secluded life. Her team, once again, did not comment. What Rachael herself said, in a December 2024 podcast episode, was this: I never look at anything about myself on the internet. I'm afraid to, quite frankly. She also mentioned that at one point in her career, there had been an entire website dedicated to hating her. For someone who had spent nearly 2 decades as one of the most visible people on American daytime television, going this quiet was jarring enough on its own. But to understand why, you have to go back further. By the time Rachael Ray ended her talk show in 2023, she had already lived through more personal upheaval in a short window than most people face in a full decade. In May of 2020, she and her husband John Cusimano lost their dog of 15 years, a pit bull named Isabu, who had been a regular presence on her show and across her social media. Less than 3 months after that, on August 9th of 2020, their home in Lake Luzerne, New York caught fire. Rachael, John, her mother Elsa, and their current dog Bella were all inside when a neighbor spotted the roof and got them out. More than a dozen local fire departments responded. The cause was later determined to be creosote buildup in the chimney fireplace. What burned with that house was 15 years of accumulated life. 40 years of notebooks she'd kept since childhood. Every piece of music John had written or collected. Letters from her mother, who was going blind. Paintings made specifically for them. As Rachael said afterward, "We lost a huge part of the physical evidence that we exist. The main structure was leveled to the foundation." She finished out the season of He, our talk show from the neighboring guest house, with John operating the camera himself. Then in 2021, Hurricane Ida flooded her New York City apartment, an apartment she had just finished renovating. Every speaker in the ceiling, the fireplace, every seam in every wall. She described it as the apartment melting. A house fire and a flood within about a year of each other, layered on top of a global pandemic, layered on top of losing a dog who had been with her for 15 years. She kept filming through all of it. And then in 2023, she walked away. She framed it as a choice, which it was. But it was a choice made by someone who had been running at full speed through extraordinary personal loss for 3 consecutive years. Her final episode aired on May 24, 2023. Oprah sent a goodbye message. So did Cameron Diaz and 50 Cent. She'd done 2,000 episodes and won the Outstanding Talk Show Emmy 3 times. When the cameras stopped on the last day, almost 2 feet of snow had fallen in upstate New York. The internet went down, and she and John finished the taping alone. Rachael Ray does not show grief easily in public, which is exactly why what happened in June of 2025 cut through everything else in a way that nothing had for years. On June 17, 2025, chef and Food Network personality Anne Burrell was found unresponsive at her home in Brooklyn. She was 55 years old. Law enforcement responded to a 911 call about a reported cardiac arrest at around 7:50 in the morning. Her husband, Stuart Claxton, had last seen her alive around 1 a.m. He discovered her hours later on the shower floor of their home. She was pronounced dead on the scene. The next morning, Rachael posted on Instagram, and it was one of the most openly devastated things she had written publicly in years. "The news about and has truly shaken us. John and I are heartbroken. I can't quite believe it. Such a strong, vibrant, fearless woman. So full of life and love could be gone so soon." What most people watching from the outside didn't know was how deep that friendship ran. The two had co-hosted multiple seasons of Worst Cooks in America together on Food Network, but it had grown into something far more personal than a work relationship, and had asked Rachael to be a bridesmaid at her wedding to Stuart in 2021. Rachael had hosted Anne's bachelorette trip through Europe, traveling through Spain and Rome before ending up at Rachael's home in Tuscany, and just 6 months before Burrell's death, and had appeared as a guest on Rachael's podcast. In that December 2024 episode, Rachael said to her directly, "The only person who ever asked me to be in their wedding other than my family member was you. It made me burst into tears." That episode aired. The weeks passed, and then Anne was gone. In her tribute, Rachael wrote that she would never forget arriving at their shared dressing room at Food Network studios early in the mornings and hearing Anne blasting music down the hallway, and had great taste in music and in life. She was a force in the kitchen, in any room, in every life she touched. We've lost someone truly special. Anne Burrell had hosted Worst Cooks in America for 27 seasons. The Food Network world responded collectively, with Bobby Flay, Guy Fieri, and dozens of others posting tributes. But Rachael's stood out because of the personal detail, and because it was one of the few moments in an otherwise very private stretch of years where she spoke with complete openness about something that genuinely mattered to her. Here is the part that got almost no coverage while the health rumors were running hot. She was working, and the scale of what she was quietly building makes the entire narrative of her disappearance fall apart completely. When Rachael left the talk show in 2023, she simultaneously launched Free Food Studios, a production company formed with her longtime collaborators Brian Flanagan, Anthony Amoyle, and Sean Lee. She wrote 80 pages of recipes and production notes in 3 days for one of the first major projects. Then in January of 2024, A&E Networks came in, acquired a 50% stake in Free Food Studios, and as part of that deal ordered 278 episodes of programming. That number is not a typo. 278 episodes. to air on A&E and FYI as part of A+E's Homemade Nation lifestyle block. The deal was structured as a joint venture, not a licensing arrangement, meaning Rachael owned part of what she was making rather than simply showing up for a fee. Content included Rachael Ray's Meals in Minutes, Rachael Ray in Tuscany, and Rachael Ray's Rebuild for Hulu, a show in which she helped families rebuild homes damaged by disasters, drawing directly on her own experience after the 2020 fire. In October of 2025, A+E expanded the deal again, ordering 110 additional episodes with production set to begin that fall and the episodes slated to air in 2026. The cumulative output was now approaching 400 episodes across a 2-year period. The woman some corners of the internet had declared to be in hiding had been one of the most prolific producers of food television content on cable during the exact same stretch of time. In October of 2025, Rachael appeared publicly in New York City, co-hosting the Blue Moon Burger Bash at the New York City Wine and Food Festival alongside Brooklyn Beckham, then appearing on the Drew Barrymore Show to cook alongside the host. Both were visible, energetic appearances that directly contradicted the image of someone in decline. At the Wine and Food Festival, she spoke to People magazine about her podcast, which had gone quiet after its 8th episode. She was direct about her frustration. "I beat all of my team up about it all the time. I've already done several episodes that haven't been released yet. The challenge is waiting for their asses to put it on air. I'm pissed at how long it takes them to put it up." And now here is the actual breaking news, the piece of the story that most people following Rachael Ray missed entirely. In the same month that A+E expanded her deal to 110 new episodes, Variety reported that A+E Global Media, the parent company of the very network her post-talk show career is built on, was up for sale. Disney and Hearst, the two companies that jointly own A+E, had quietly begun testing buyer interest for the entire entity, which includes A&E, Lifetime, and History. She owns 50% of Free Food Studios through a joint venture with A+E. Any ownership change at A+E is therefore directly her business. She hasn't commented publicly on the sale. Whether that's because she's confident in her contract structure, because negotiations are ongoing, or because she genuinely doesn't know what it means yet, nobody outside that situation knows. What is clear is this: she left the talk show to have more control. She built a production company to own what she made. She signed a deal that gave her 278 episodes and then 110 more. And the network underpinning all of it is now in play on the open market. Rachael Ray is not disappearing. She is not in hiding. She is in the middle of something genuinely uncertain. And this time, unlike the fire, unlike the flood, unlike the grief, it is not something she can rebuild with her own hands.